All right, what's going on, AFC Northerners and Steelers Nation? It's Gabriel Bellotti once again here, coming at you. So I'm not going to even talk about the Steelers-Patriots game. It's already been talked about, and I agree with Big Ben. It's time to move on from this conversation and just look forward to the Houston Texans game, because that's what this week's game is. So it's time to just kind of look at that and focus. I think this is going to be a short video because I don't really think there's a lot to talk about this week on what to watch out for, to be honest with you. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about, I'll start off with, it's good to hear that Antonio Brown has a calf laceration and nothing that much serious, nothing that's too serious right now. It sucks to not have him for the last two games of the season, but I think as what happened in that Patriots game, what we saw with Martavis Bryant stepping up, Juju Smith-Schuster being Juju Smith-Schuster, the way he's been this season, Jesse James stepping up, Le'Veon Bell being Le'Veon Bell. This offense has enough weapons on it that I think we can weather the storm, especially in these last two games, with it being the Texans and the Browns. And Pittsburgh has shown that they can put up, a lot of points. I think it's been at least 25 points in some of the last few games here, putting up 39 against Baltimore. With that said, Brown is going to be a big loss, but the positive is I think it's looking like we might have Vance McDonald back this week. And so with that being said, also on the offensive side, it looks like Marcus Gilbert's four-game suspension is now up. We'll have Marcus Gilbert back. Unfortunately, Ramon Foster is out, so I believe it's going to be B.J. Finney who's probably going to be stepping into that role for Foster. So we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, overall this season, the offensive line has been phenomenal, with giving Ben time and being able to look down the field and giving him time to find who he needs to find, whether it's Schuster or Bell, or when Brown's in the game, Brown. So now with Gilbert back in, that's going to be a huge help, and it's also going to be a huge help with getting this run game back on track, and making that a little bit better, because Gilbert's been a huge help with that, and we're going to definitely need him this week, because I think the biggest challenge, especially on defense, is going to be Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney is a hell of a linebacker, and he's a hell of a player. So he's going to be the biggest thing, I think, to watch out for on this Texans defense. Little upset that not upset that J.J. Watt's not going to be in this game, but a little upset that there can't be a little brotherly competition going on in this game. It's kind of sad. It'd be kind of cool to see T.J. Watt and J.J. Watt kind of like vying to see who is the better one. I mean, yes, J.J. Watt has a storied career already, and T.J. Watt is, starting off very well for his season, but I still think it would have been a cool little headline and a cool little thing to see for the game. But I digress on that. And, I'm not really too worried about T.J. Yates or the offense for the Texans. The only thing that we really need to watch out for is DeAndre Hopkins. And I think that it's looking like Hayden is just about ready to go. I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to continue to watch the rest of this week to see what happens and to see if he's got the go-ahead or if he's ready to go. But he's claiming to be ready to go, and if he's back, that's a huge help, especially in locking up DeAndre Hopkins. Will Fuller is also another decent wide receiver. So, but I think the two main things that Pittsburgh's gonna have to worry about, one on offense and one on defense, and like I said, that's DeAndre Hopkins and Jadeveon Clowney. It also doesn't help Pittsburgh that this is an away game, and this is, the Texans have they're going to come into this game fighting. They're going to come into this game trying to, basically knock Pittsburgh down a seed, and give it their all. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and predict this as, let's go ahead and say, I'm going to say 24-13 Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got the weapons, that other than Jadeveon Clowney, that secondary for the Texans is pretty rough, and I think Ben's going to be able to pick apart that secondary pretty well. And I think with Marcus Gilbert back, I really think Ben's going to have time. Ben's going to have time to throw, and Ben's going to be able to make the throws that he needs to make. I think we continue to see Martavis Bryant step up his game, especially with Brown out. I figure we see Juju Smith-Schuster being Juju Smith-Schuster. Vance McDonald's back in this week. We see a lot of Vance McDonald, and he's shown that he can make the catches that need to be made, and he can move the chains. And as you know, Bell is Bell. So, and I think with with Marcus Gilbert back, that's going to probably get Bell some much needed help in the run game, and getting those holes opened up. But other than that, I'll see you all later, and I'll sign off as always as fuck the Patriots, fuck the Texans, and I'll see you all after the game. Peace.